Hey everybody, Rocco here. Fall's my favorite season, and these are my top 5 favorite records to listen to during the fall. First up, we got Vince Guaraldi with the soundtrack to It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, released in 1966. Vince Guaraldi is one of my favorite jazz pianists, and I grew up watching pretty much all of the Peanuts holiday specials as a kid, but this one was always my favorite, especially because of the soundtrack. A lot of great stuff on here. This has every single musical cue that you hear in the special. Linus and Lucy is definitely a favorite on this record, especially this version of Linus and Lucy with the flute. Something with the flute just makes it feel more autumnal to me. And The Great Pumpkin Waltz, one of my favorite pieces that Vince ever wrote. Classic jazz waltz, great stuff. Next up, we got Nick Drake, 5 Leaves Left. This is his debut album that came out in 1969. This record has a really cozy, intimate feel to it, and I think a large part of that is due to Nick Drake's voice. Some beautiful arrangements, gorgeous strings, other orchestral instruments on here. Also, I'll highlight is Nick's guitar playing, deceptively complicated. Riverman's probably my favorite song on this album. Beautiful strings, kind of haunting melody, weird time signature. It's a great song. Also, Fruit Tree on side 2 is another highlight for me. Next up, we got Autumn by George Winston, piano solos. This record kind of blew my mind as a kid. It really showed me what you could do with just a solo piano that wasn't just classical. To me, this album literally just sounds like autumn, I guess, as it should, right, with the title. I could be in the middle of summer, I put this record on, and it sounds like autumn to me. My favorite tracks on here, honestly, the first 2 songs, Colors Dance, opening your record with a 10.5-minute piece is gutsy, but it really shows you what you're in for, and I was hooked. Also, the song Woods, I grew up in the woods, so I guess it sounds like home. I love playing that one on the piano, personally, too. Next up, we got Elliott Smith's 3rd record, Either Or, released in 1997. I like to consider this an inside record, meaning I'm not going to play this on a Saturday night out on the town. This is inside, maybe sipping on a cup of hot soup or something and trying to get cozy. It's a little chilly outside. I think a lot of that vibe has to do with this sort of lo-fi production on here. That's not a bad thing, though. I think that really adds to the overall sound. And also the way Elliott Smith recorded his vocals, a lot of time double tracked where it was one in each ear. It kind of sounds like he's whispering right in your ear. A lot of the songs on here were featured in the Good Will Hunting soundtrack, which is one of my favorite movies. That's kind of how I discovered that movie, was through this record. A lot of great stuff on here, but some of my favorites, Ballad of Big Nothing, Between the Bars, devastating song, but great stuff. And also Angelus, I love the guitar playing on that one. And last but not least, Death Cab for Cutie with Transatlanticism, their 2003 record, sort of their breakout record. To me, this record just feels like fall. I think a lot of that has to do with the beautiful production that guitarist and producer Chris Walla contributed to this record, especially on the guitars. They can be really clean and beautiful when they need to be, but they can also rock out really hard at other times too. There's a lot of themes of distance, long distance relationships on this record. Also a lot of reflection, kind of looking back. And I think, during the fall, a lot of the year is winding down. People are starting to reflect on what they did over the year, looking ahead as well. So I think that's part of the reason why this record reminds me of the fall. Anyways, that's my list. If you guys have any songs or records that you like to listen to during the fall, leave a comment below and let me know. Love to hear from you. Anyways, that's it from me. I'll catch you on the next one.